Tara Kangarlou, who is a journalist and author, joins us live from Los Angeles. Thanks very much indeed for being with us on the programme. So what do you think Iran's reaction is likely to be to this? We've already had some strong words, but will that turn into action?
Thank you for having me. I think that is the big question right now, and something that the propagators of this assassination are waiting for. If, in fact, it was Israel that was behind the attacks, they are waiting to see what Iran will do next. And as we have seen in the past year, there is much interest by the Trump administration and its partners, Israel and Saudi Arabia, to escalate tensions with Iran, as we witnessed in the early days of 2020 when Iran's Qasem Soleimani, top commander, was killed. Of course, that did not lead into a full-blown war, but in many ways, those involved are waiting to see what Iran will do, and if in fact that would lead to a further escalation.
So let's talk a little about the significance of the timing of this. Can we read anything into it being the final days of Donald Trump's presidency?
Absolutely. If anything, this would impede diplomacy, as your correspondent mentioned in Iran. The Trump administration and its allies, again, are not at all interested in any form of diplomacy. In fact, they have choked Iran and put it in further isolation with harsh sanctions. And in the final days of the administration, President Trump is certainly keen in further complicating matters for incoming President-elect Biden, who has said that his administration will be keen in joining the deal and essentially engaging in diplomacy with Iran. This assassination, I have to say, will certainly embolden hardliners in Iran and would very much complicate matters when it comes to diplomacy, whether it be the nuclear deal or any sort of engagement with Iran, between Iran and the U.S. And I have to say, again, with regards to President Trump and the thinking of the administration at the moment, it's very interesting to see that the U.S. president's first response to this assassination was to retweet an Israeli journalist's tweet, both in English and in Hebrew.
But isn't Iran somewhat impotent here? Because it was only months ago that the leader of the Revolutionary Guard was killed, and following that, nothing really happened.
Exactly. I think Iran has a lot to lose, and it certainly has been. Iran is financially broken. The country is choked. It's isolated. Everyday people are suffering due to the extreme measures that the U.S. sanctions have put on the country. So I think in the coming days, most certainly in the final month of the Trump administration, Iran's move would be very calculated.
OK, really good to speak to you. Tara Kangarlou, a journalist who joined us live from Los Angeles.